morning, everyone. Steelhorse here. Welcome to Griffin, Indiana, where, as you can see, our Kevin's barley field is ready for harvest. Now, it's proven just a little bit tricky. We had to do a full lap of the field to get our header into a position where we can get it on the harvester. We were able to get the harvester through the gate, through between the white fence and the pasture fence, but the gates that are in the field generally are a little bit tricky for this big equipment. Never mind, we'll be able to get everything sorted out pretty quickly here. The plan is to get the crop off this field as a priority, and the other thing Kevin's learned with this tricky little trailer that goes with the Honeybee header is if you put it somewhere that's easy to access but just out of the way before you take it off like so, then when it comes to putting it back on later, it's very easy to maneuver into the position that you want. So now though, we'll just unfold the header and unfold the harvester. Once that's done, pipes extended out, let's just pop onto the field and round the corner here. One of the things we need to do today, Kevin's pretty keen. He got a bit excited and carried away with the success of the first day in this harvester, and he's accepted 3 additional contracts around the place, which is great from a fun standpoint, but we're going to need to be pretty organized in our approach. So we need to get the workers helping us out pretty quickly here. So what we'll do is create a job. That one looks pretty good. That all looks fine. We're going to do 2 headlands, and we want the, let's just pull this off to the side where we can see it. The field center up and down. Let's try the longest edge. Actually, let's just let it go the way it wants to. Smooth corners are probably the best for us. That's not looking too bad. So what we'll do, there's no islands, so that all looks good. Just check our settings. Turning on the field, avoid driving in the fruit. Allow using the pathfinder in turns we like. Stop while unloading, please. Unload on the first headland is fine. We want a straw swath, and we'll save that. So all we have to do is first waypoint and start you off. Now we can get some cartage organised. I think we'll use the class in a bigger trailer today because we've got a short trip to the silo here, and it's a bit further, a bit quicker off the mark than the truck. We know we've got a little bit of auto drive set up for the silo. So what we need to do is create a connection to the fields, which we can do like so. So if we record from here, put that up there, and And we've just got our timing right, so the harvester will come past and just make a spot. Because these fences just make it a little bit tricky, we'll put a weight point for this in the field. Pop the weight point here. We'll call this barley field weight. And we'll drive up. There's a fair chance the harvester will be full somewhere up here. So we might have to pause and empty. Let's go and check that just quickly. Yeah, so this will, with any luck, stop round about the corner. You're going to cut in for us. Might just interrupt him here. Put the auger out. Move you over. We can take the unload and then send the harvester on its way while we finish the rest of the course. Oops. Turn recording back on again. Give us enough room to get out the gate. That'll be fine. Record off, hook you on the nice arc, and that should be that. So now let's just empty the harvester. Just not quite getting the line right on the spout. There we go. Just back up and balance that out a little bit. And while we're doing that, we can set up the unload combine. So we're going to want to wait at barley field weight, and then we're going to go to the silo. Let's just get the combine sorted. You can just take that. And pick it back up at the nearest waypoint. You should be fine. Now the other thing you'll need now is to put thing on for. Oops, it didn't pick it up. Let's change it again. Barley field weight. Okay. Now, telling us there's no driver assigned, which is true. We haven't done that yet. But if we just back up down here a little bit. Now we're on the course, and we're not actually at the weight point, but we've got crop in and we've got a combine in the field. So in a minute, when the harvester fills up, he should get the call. Meanwhile, we can head back and grab a baler. These are big swaths on here, which might be a bit of a challenge for our baler, but we might be able to get a couple or a little bit of it out of the way and make life a little bit easier. Make for a nice productive morning. Now, where have we left little John Deere? It works really well for our baler. But yes, the 3 contracts we've got are varying sizes, but they'll keep us busy nonetheless, getting the crop off the fields over the next day or two. However, that said, they will provide a good boost to the finances. So as much as anything, this is a chance to get on top of the leasing payments that have been added by the combine. There's a huge swath that we've got here. Oops, and it only took a second to fill the baler. You can see now our tractor is headed off. So he's obviously got the call to get ready to empty. Just keep an eye on him, because we didn't run a test of that circuit. There's a chance that he'll need checking at the... I haven't run this trailer and tractor combination actually unloading at the silo, so we'll just have to see how that goes. These swaths produced are enormous, so to get all the straw we're going to need to upgrade our pickup equipment. Might be better off because we make the forage for the animals anyway, or the cows. Perhaps we should think about shifting to a decent forage wagon as we move through the coming year. If we get a little more on top of the finances, that would seem to make sense. Kevin needs to... I think this sort of mound here is just taxing us a little bit. I'm going to leave probably a bale or two straw on the field at least by the time we're done here. Looks like our pickup has got stuck on a tree, so we need to stop you for a sec. Not quite sure what you're doing on this side of the... Let's just have a look at our settings. Corner speed is too high. That's part of the problem. Distance to combine, unload fill level, field exit is default. Restrict pathfinder to field. Void fruit, yes. Park in field, yes. We don't want you to do those things. And apply. Should have checked the settings before we started. This is why Kevin needs to practice on his own fields. And Now, you should be able to find yourself a course pretty easily. It eats through it pretty quick. A bit comical, we've managed to bog our little tractor in a mountain of straw. But that engine's not too hot. Looks like our harvester has successfully unloaded and moved on, which is good. And as expected, our trailer's just waiting in the field over there. Oops. So we've got everything working. I'll just go and check on that trailer in just a second. Made it out the gate. Our other alternative forage wagon would be to upgrade to a continuous baler. That might also make a big difference, so that we can produce bigger bales, less handling. We're lucky something might come up in the sales. Let's just go and check what's going on at Silo. Make the corner and get on to the point. We're just in time. It obviously thinks that approach is pretty tight there. I'll probably left equipment a little bit close. And we've got the drop point a little bit too close for this. Move it forward. So what happened there is what happens when you've got the name point for the silo, which is this button here. Just a little bit too close to the silo. And as a result, the tractor stops before the trailer gets into the drop point. But there we go. The other thing that this is showing is the rate at which the harvester is filling is still too fast for our pickup vehicle, so we probably need an auger wagon and then run a couple of trucks, because he's pretty much going to go straight away. So that's promising. What we might go and do, a couple of those bales moved out of the way on that run up the side of the field there. Straps work really well when they're in the right spot. So if we grab one there, and with any luck, we should be able to get one that's in the gate. And we can shoot straight back up the road, so getting the system pretty organized. It's not a huge deal whether we get the straw sorted quickly. It's much more important to get the crop off so we can get on and move the harvester to the contract fields. And that's progressing quite well. This is the second headland, so we'll be on the up and down shortly. And while we've still got the trailer in the barn, we'll just plop these beside the door for the moment. I think we do need some more hay to the cows. I'm pretty sure the milk cows with TMR are fine. We'll go get these other two bales that are in the way. So the Ferris is just a little bit slow, but otherwise does the job beautifully. While we've got all of that happening, and it seems that it's progressing without too much difficulties, coming up to start his up and downs, we might put the electric tractor on the smaller trailer and just drop some hay off to the beef cattle. Make sure they're all doing fine. We can hopefully get through here before we meet somebody coming the other way, because it looks like our grain trailer's on its way back. We want some hay. Now that we've got a few animals and bits and pieces to do, there's always something. There we go. That didn't feel like... I didn't think it would be full. We're hitting the fence again. Trick is to back over the fence so we stay in the trigger. How's that looking? for the animals. So they must have been pretty low, but they're topped up nicely now. They've got plenty of water. The milk cows are about half on TMR, so they're fine. And we could do with a load out to the back pasture, and Woody Ann's got plenty. So let's go do one out to the back pasture while we're here. The grain cart's just made it past, and you can see in the background there it's managing to unload successfully this time. So that process has worked. Happy with all of that. Everything's progressing the way it should. Harvester's making good progress on the field. We'll, at this rate, have this barley off our field by lunchtime, which means we can then decide which contract we want to progress. And as far as I can remember, all of the contracts are going to the mill, so we might use both the trailer and the truck to cart this afternoon. And potentially maybe we should think about an auger wagon. Might be an efficient way to keep everything running. It would be nice if something came up in the sales. That would be ideal. But there's nothing useful in the sales, and auger wagons are all looking a little bit on the expensive side for us. So that might be something to say this is probably the cheapest. Something to save for next year. So Kevin can just make do with the equipment that he's got for the minute, and just be patient and wait for something to come up in the sale. What are you doing over there? That would appear like you've managed to get yourself stuck. Yeah, one of you's blocked the other. Yep. Let's get you out of there. You didn't wait for him to back out of the crop before you tried to unload him, would be my guess. Which I think means we're on track for a midday completion. You should be able to pick up at the nearest waypoint. Off you go. And you can get back on with your waiting. Meanwhile, we can run back over and do a couple more bales. If I didn't know how much fertilizer and animal product ended up in, that'd be inclined on a hot summer's day to be jumping in and taking a bit of a wash, but I don't think that's the pond to be swimming in. After the next unload, we can probably jump in the harvester to finish off the last bit. Oops, wasn't paying attention. Fills up very fast, this hopper, and the brake. It's a bit heavy for the tractor, so Doesn't quite pull up when you ask it to. Funny how things that you may do with when you first set up any sort of operation, suddenly when you discover you've got some efficiency at whatever you're doing, they're not quite as suitable as they were. We learnt last season that it's definitely worth picking the straw up. We made a good heap of dollars off the straw yield, so this is definitely a job that's worth doing, albeit finding another way to make it more efficient. After this unload, I think we'll take over to finish the last bit of the field, because then we can put the header back on the trailer and head down to the next field we've got to work. So it looks like we've got 3 strips and we're at 40%. So let's see how we go. It'll be close to a full tank though. Last row. Turn it around, drop this in the trailer, and drop off the header. Slowly approach into the back of the trailer. Perfect. We'll go and reverse the procedure we had before of getting our header off. We can head down to, so we've got 2, which is a large contract, 14 and 23. So if we have a look, 23 is pretty close by, so maybe we do that one first. And then see whether, how we're left for time. Maybe we'll do 14. And the mill where we're dropping them's up here, so HH milling and HH milling. So that's the plan. In fact, we can see that field ready to harvest just over there in the distance. Remember the procedure with this trailer, just don't get hooked on the, select your header, fold it up, and then line it up, and it comes up very easily. And then in this particular case, we've got to swing back round and get the left-hand end roughly over the end of the dolly. Select the mount and then Jump in the ute. Pick up just a whisker. And if we were in the right spot, I would expect we would get it. There it is. Just to the left of centre. And I'm tipping we don't want to go between the tree and the fence. Let's head down to field 23. He looks like he's got a good spot in his yard there we can use to get the header on and get sorted out, so we might just take advantage of that. Let's drop the last little bit of grain off. We have managed to leave in the... Or maybe the trailer was full. That's always a chance. Is that the case? Yes. Weren't watching when we dropped the header off, but that's all right. We can solve that problem. I'm guessing that by the time we get set up and get the harvester running and back with the trailer, it'll be ready for an unload, so we'll see how we go. Looks like there's rain in the forecast. I suspect it's a few hours away yet. See how we go here. We might run round and do the headland ourselves, just because it's a little bit of a fiddly shape. Just get to the corner, which will look like a pretty good spot for an unload, I think. And then with any luck, I'll empty this out, and I think we'll take both the truck and this combination down, because the return journey to the tipping point will take a little while. So we'll need something to keep the harvester going while the tipping's occurring. We might just park you around here. We'll get the truck sorted out. This time we just want you to do HR milling unload. HH milling, unload, and then come back to field 23. We'll just do this little bit in the end here. Just not quite wide enough. What we'll do is we'll just take this off here. We'll get that little finger sorted out. And then rather than use course play, we'll see how you go on a regular worker. Just running east-west across the field. 29% transported. So 3 truckloads. 4 truckloads will finish it. Let's just zoom across there. Pretty much on 90 degrees or thereabouts. Looks like the truck's managed to make its way round and come back. If we turn around here, we should be able to just take a little bit out of the harvester so that it will only need a full load at some point. You'll see in the background there the truck's leapt into action, and what that's showing you is even though I'm not running course play, auto drive is still reacting or coordinating between the two vehicles, so I can still run the delivery in auto drive with just the regular AI worker in the truck, because when the combine got to 60%, the truck moved to come to start the unload process. Now it'll figure out its routing and wait for the combine to stop now, probably follow it along actually, but with any luck it'll get to be full on the way back. Just hoping that that's the case rather than it making it all the way to the other end and then getting a little bit tangled up in the crop. But so far it's nice to see the regular AI actually cooperating with auto drive. He's at 80%. Probably need him at 95 before he'll stop. Didn't quite come close enough to trigger the unload itself. What's he gonna do? There's 95. At least we're gonna fill before the end of the row, so a regular AI worker is just going to go to 100% and fill by the looks. And now he's going to stop, put his pipe out, and hopefully when he has stopped, our truck is going to wake up like so and come up and empty, which is pretty cool. So no course play, just auto drive and the regular AI working here. We've just got the we have got the auto drive for the harvester turned on to the same point, so that's how they're coordinating. So I'm in the harvester at the minute. That's auto drive for the harvester. And if I switched across to the truck, there's auto drive for the truck. So it's driving from field 23 weight point up to the HH milling unload point, which we saw it deliver at successfully before. Contract's just gone 70% on field 23, which means we must be getting close to getting the crop off. The harvester is full, so it should be getting an unload now, and by my calculations that probably means there's one tank left. So what we might do is head over there. That's certainly the last load to the mill delivered against the field 14 contract, so it appears we're not going to finish today. Because this is filling so fast, I've been finding it's easier just to keep moving forward and roll off and dump the bale to the side. We might stop there for the day. It's coming up on 5:45 by the time we get down to the other field and check where everything's at. We'll just stop when we've got all the crop off. And there we go. The truck successfully unloaded it again with just the AI running the harvester. So that's good. What we can do is we'll stop the truck when it gets to the mill, because we can put the rest of the crop that's here in the other trailer. And then we'll send the truck in the morning down to field 14, I think it is. I mean, it's not a problem if the truck comes back here to wait, which is what'll happen when we unload a harvester. We might take over from the harvester there and finish getting the crop off. We can just continue straight up to that corner, I think. But as we're not going to finish any contracts for today, we've still had a successful day. We've got our own crop in the silo. We should just check how much we finished up with. So we started with about 40,000, so we got just over 100,000 litres of barley off our field, which is very comfortable return. And Kevin's been able to successfully coordinate some different vehicles now and get that working. We've shown that the AI can operate with auto drive or with course play, whichever you prefer if you're playing on PC. So that's always a good thing. But for now, we might leave it here as it just ticked over 6 o'clock. We'll get this last little smidge of crop off here, and that'll leave us 2 contracts to finish off next time. So until then, thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. See ya.